Now on CoastTV News.
Beach Rules Dewey is contemplating new regulations that would empower lifeguards. More houses, more problems. That's how some in Lewis feel as an enormous new development project is on the table. Important information for Eastern Shore voters, the election that's causing conversation.
And we'll update you on the latest on severe storm threat we've been watching and monitoring all night long. We've actually had some severe thunderstorm warnings. I'll update you on any damage in a mere moment.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
The winds of change are blowing. You're looking live right now into Ocean City as the storms reach the coast. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 11. We begin tonight with a shift that we're seeing in our weather. And to do that, we need to check in with CoastTV meteorologist Paul Williams.
Well, what's going on right now, Charlie, is that we have some storms that have pushed through. We're expecting, for example, in Ocean City, some additional storms between 12 and 1 o'clock. Now, earlier, when we were still actually showing you what was going on with the Republican National Convention, we had some severe thunderstorm warnings that pushed across the area. The temperatures have been affected by the rain that we've already received, but a lot of it has already passed through as of this moment, so we're not feeling the brunt of that storm activity as of right now. We can see that from earlier today, we had a tremendous amount of heat that was in place, and that sets the stage for the storms that we've been monitoring. So as we continue to track the heat, you got to keep in mind that the heat is actually the building block for the storm that we've been dealing with. Now let's talk about the storms. We now currently still have an active marine warning that was initially hit, and we've had a few of these that have happened. We've had some storms that have pushed and created an opportunity for some isolated pockets of some hail. Now we haven't picked up any hail damage, and the strongest of storms actually moved up towards Atlantic City. This is from that push right here that made its way across, and you may have felt that storm earlier. The only thing we've dealt with so far is some straight line winds, caused a bit of debris on a lot of the roads and a little bit of tree damage. We haven't seen much in the way of structural damage as a result of this system, but here's a wider view of this. We have some additional scattered showers that's beginning to make its way across this Crisfield. We still have very gusty winds along the shore and throughout the Chesapeake Bay area, but even with those gusty winds, we're looking at limited activity because the cold front has yet to begin to push its way through. But ahead of that front, we had so much in the way of energy. That was a big deal. We're still dealing with the residual effects of the heat, basically keeping a close eye on the possibility of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. But now that's going to be tapped down a bit thanks to the rain that we've already received. Now, coming up, we'll talk about some additional rain that could be on the way, Charlie. But until then, back to you.
Thank you, Paul. In presidential politics, all eyes were on former President Trump's new running mate, J.D. Vance, who delivered a speech on the national stage for the first time in this role. Tonight's theme, Make America Strong Again, focusing on foreign policy and support for foreign wars, which is an issue that may show some cracks in Republican Party unity. NBC's Alice Barr is in Milwaukee with the latest.
Former President Trump greeting his supporters tonight before ceding the spotlight to his political heir apparent, newly announced vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance, the first-term Ohio senator introducing himself to a national audience and an energized convention crowd. What do you think J.D. Vance brings to this ticket?
Well, he brings youth, that's for sure. You know, he's about a year older than I am. A lot of strength and fervor. I think he's going to be a great protege for Trump. The
one-time Trump critic, now a fierce America First ally. He backs hardline policies on issues from immigration to abortion and opposing additional aid for Ukraine. A Marine veteran who served in Iraq. Senator Vance laying out his personal story, growing up in rural poverty, detailed in a best-selling memoir, Hillbilly Elegy. Vance is the first millennial on a major party ticket in a race between the two oldest presidential nominees, rocked by the horrific assassination attempt against former President Trump.
My father came under literal fire as an incredible patriotic rally turned into a tragedy.
And on the Democratic side, deep concerns over President Biden's fitness. Tonight resurfacing with news of his COVID diagnosis. He says he's feeling good and working while isolating. Several convention speakers questioned President Biden's strength.
Father Time has not been kind to Joe Biden.
On a night themed Make America Strong Again, that saw Gold Star families who lost loved ones in the Afghanistan withdrawal take the stage.
There has been a deafening Silence from the Biden and Harris administration.
A somber and powerful moment amid a night of celebration for the Republican Party ticket. In Milwaukee, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Meanwhile, it's been an interesting day for President Biden. New at 11, the president has tested positive for COVID-19. That was announced while he was in Las Vegas, where he was on a 2-day campaign swing. The White House issued a statement saying the president is experiencing mild symptoms and he will be returning to Delaware. In fact, he should be in Delaware at this time, self-isolating and continuing to carry out his duties. He has already received his first dose of Paxlovid. In fact, the president is scheduled to be here at his Rehoboth Beach home any time now. And the president is still struggling with support from his base. California Congressman Adam Schiff joining the list of Democrats calling for President Joe Biden to drop out, though he vowed to get behind whoever the Democratic Party nominates as president. New at 11, if you frequent Dewey Beach, be aware some new regulations could be in store. Dewey Beach Town Council considering an ordinance this Friday that would give lifeguards the ability to prohibit any activity that's deemed a danger to the public. Right now on weekends between 11 and 3, you already technically can't play any sport that involves an airborne object like a football. According to Dewey's town manager, the goal of the ordinance is to give lifeguards more authority to enforce potentially dangerous activities.
Yeah, so recently we've had a couple issues with drones on the beach when the beach has been very crowded on the weekend or during the day. We really don't have anything on our town ordinances that will address things like drones or bigger kites, things like that on the beach.
Zolper says it would be an educate first, enforce second policy. But if you don't stop after the warning, you could be hit with a $200 fine for violations there in Dewey Beach. If you like an adult beverage now and then, listen to this next story. Some restaurants in Sussex County could be forced to shut down alcohol sales earlier. Town officials in Dagsboro are considering an ordinance that would specifically limit the hours for restaurants in the town's highway commercial district. Under the new rules, alcohol could only be served between 11:30 a.m. and 11 p.m. Now, the spark for this debate comes after a police report where there were several fights and other misconduct issues in the La Dama restaurant and bar parking lot. Dagsboro officials say that they are planning to hold a public hearing on the ordinance in September there in Sussex County.
I'm Madeline Overturf, and here's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. Dover police have issued a warning saying more teenagers are using gel blaster guns. Police say the toy guns are being shot at people in a drive-by style, and they can cause panic as they can be mistaken for real guns and hurt people. In Cambridge, candidate packets for the town council and mayor, they are available at all city offices ahead of the election. All 5 seats and the mayor are open. The election is October 19th. We are 1 week out from the pony swim in Chincoteague. We'll have special coverage that day. The ponies will cross the Assateague Channel between noon and 1 as that is slack tide. That's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. I'm Madeline Overturf.
The Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing today for a proposed mega development called North Star. And this thing would be big. According to plans, the development would feature 758 single-family homes, 94 multifamily units, 96,000 square feet of commercial space, all located on the southeast side of the Lewis-Georgetown Highway and the northwest and southeast sides of Beaver Dam Road. As seems to be the case with any development along the coast, people are worried what that influx of people and cars would do to the area.
Growing up here, I don't even want to go to Lewis and Rehoboth. I never go there anymore. I stopped going there 20 years ago. I stopped. I can't take it. It drives me nuts. Every time I go over there, I feel sick. What they've done to our county is horrible.
And this brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know what concerns you most about a 750 home development on Route 9 in Beaver Dam. Let's take a look at the updated results from earlier this evening. All day long, this has sort of been the way it's gone. 84% say traffic increase. That's their biggest worry. Environmental impact lower on the list, and houses too close together or density that barely makes the list. You could go vote at CoastTV.com or use the Coast TV mobile app. As we covered earlier in the newscast with Paul, the heat wave has broken. We're cooling off, but this evening's temperature changes didn't help workers who were out in the heat earlier today. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay shows us their reactions to the constant heat.
Working in the heat. Something Dion Cheney says he's used to.
It's been a little challenge. It's been, really hot out, getting real sweaty. So trying to stay hydrated, trying to stay cool as possible. Wet rags around your neck, that type of things. But hey, it's part of the job.
Today looks to be the last heat wave in Ocean City, which means people still have to keep cool. And while some people walk along the boardwalk, others would rather take the tram instead to cool off. And although we're still in a heat wave, some don't seem to care. I talked to someone who works on the boardwalk every day, and he told Coast TV that the heat doesn't affect him with the constant sea breeze. While some people are working in the heat to make a living, others are doing it to improve the area. Lisa Miller is one of 20 people working for Care First that are cleaning the boardwalk and beach in Ocean City, but they plan on ending early due to all the heat.
So we were supposed to stay here until mid-afternoon, but of course that's when the heat is going to be at its highest. So we have the option to stay if we'd like, but obviously health of everyone is main importance, so we are scaling it back to end sooner.
Even with the sea breeze helping the boardwalk and the beach, everyone I talked to said they hope it gets cooler. I'm Kevin Zapay in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
We have a lot more news to get to this evening. Still to come, securing the Olympics. It was always going to be a tall order, but in light of the recent assassination attempt here in America, the focus on safety is top of mind. And also a bit of a double play. Here is a historic partnership has been forged between the Delmarva Shorebirds and the Delmarva Sports Network.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. In Cambridge, we are expecting scattered showers to break out by noon, but in Crisfield, noon and at 5 o'clock. And we've already had a little bit of a cooling down of the weather thanks to the rain tonight, and more cool on the way, but will it last? I'll let you know about that in just 60 seconds.
Mr. Meyer was an awesome teacher.
I taught middle school math in Wilmington.
He goes out of his way. You could just see he really cared.
My students faced the most serious challenges in our community. They needed so much more than algebra.
When he became county executive, he worked to improve all of our schools.
We got teachers funding to innovate in their classrooms, started 1,000 Kids Coding to help low-income students get high-income skills.
Matt Meyer is someone who, when he says he's going to do something, he does the work. Democrat Matt Meyer for governor.
Don't miss the Make It Ford sales event at Preston Ford. We have a wide selection of over 900 Ford models available for immediate purchase. You can enjoy savings of over $7,000 off MSRP on select 2024 Ford F-150 XLTs. Plus, we have 0% financing available on 2023 Mustang Mach-E's. Shop with us online at PrestonFord.com and we'll deliver it to your driveway today. Don't miss the exciting deals at the Make It Ford sales event at Preston Ford. Remember, cars cost less in Preston.
Well, the severe storms that pushed through the area didn't cause much of a fuss as far as any kind of damage is concerned, but it made a serious dent in the heat. We're now down to a nice, sane 77 degrees in Rehoboth Beach, and we're not expecting for things to go beyond the mid-70s, although we are expecting another wave of rain here and there throughout the morning time. Now, we had a marine warning. It's now been allowed to expire, but we see that cell dying out very quickly. Why? Because we had the first wave of rain that pushed through, and it basically gobbled up all the energy the first wave through, and that's where this is carrying its way up there into most southern portions of New Jersey. We do have an active small craft advisory, so we're still looking at breezy conditions along the coast pretty steadily, but the heat advisory and all that stuff is now a thing of the past. We have all that's pushing through. Some additional scattered showers. Now, there's a cold front that still has to make its way through for tomorrow, so we still have a shot at some cooler weather for the next couple of days in a row. It's quite a treat compared to what we've been dealing with. Today's high, 93 degrees in Georgetown, 92 in Ocean City. We're in the 70s along the coast, and we are in the 70s all the inland areas as well. So finally, everybody gets a chance to save a little money on their air conditioning bill or electric bill, okay? Now, even the heat index is staying at the same. Now, what hasn't really improved much is the air quality. we haven't had much mixing going on with the air, and it diminished in quality down to a moderate rate, but we're not at the orange rate. We start really becoming concerned when we get into that orange and red. So we're in the yellow. We want to keep a close monitoring eye on that, and that we will continue to do. The dew point temperatures are still very elevated, and even though things are looking good, keep in mind we're still in the summer season. Now we're going to dip significantly after Thursday's rain, particularly for Friday and Saturday, climb briefly, then dump back down Saturday going into Sunday. But going into next week, we start climbing back to this very humid to miserable level of existence. Now, as far as Thursday morning is concerned, we start off in the 70s, all right, and then the low 80s in the morning time. And we're looking for a push of rain by the afternoon, but temperatures will be in the 80s across the board. Now, we may see 90s in places like Ellendale, Seaford, and Georgetown, but those will be the hot spots for the most part. Everywhere else will stay in the 80s and even 70s along the coast. Friday morning, we'll start off in the 70s and stay there in the morning time before we bounce into the 80s once again. But now for Thursday, we may have one shot at maybe 100 and 101 heat index in Millsboro and Selbyville before the rain really kicks in for Thursday. Then it cools us down. But then our future feels like, or heat index for Sunday in the mid-90s, Monday in the mid-90s. So as you take a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling Extended Forecast, a couple of things to keep in mind. You see these 80s right here? We're riding a wave of much cooler weather till we get to next week. Now, next week, we're looking at a string of severe storms possibly in a row with back-to-back storms. So we're going to be using that energy up back-to-back next week, particularly in the afternoon hours. But at least the weekend is looking relatively clear, just in case you want to go out and do something like, play golf with somebody or something like that.
Thank you, Paul. I'll keep that under advisement. Since its inception, the Delmarva Sports Network has been taking big swings, and now they're partnering with a team who loves to do just that, take big swings, the Delmarva Shorebirds baseball team. And if you're a fan, you're going to like this. Wednesday, DSN and the Delmarva Shorebirds made a big announcement. DSN station manager Bill Vernon and the Shorebirds GM Chris Bitters doing the honors.
Starting this season, baseball enthusiasts from all across Delmarva will witness history with 15 thrilling Delmarva Shorebirds games broadcast live on free over-the-air television.
Fans of minor league baseball in the area have never before been able to watch Shorebirds games from the comfort of their own home, but this new partnership changes that. From the team's perspective, that builds a bridge to their fan base.
Our first goal is to get fans to come out to be live in the ballpark and join us for the game. But for when they can't, we obviously want to provide opportunities for them still to be engaged with the Shorebirds, follow the team, learn about the players, and this partnership with DSN will allow that.
Starting this season, in fact, starting Friday, July 19th, DSN begins broadcasting a slate of 15 Shorebirds games live for free on television. So what can you expect? Comprehensive game coverage? Of course. Exclusive interviews? Absolutely. In-depth analysis of the game? It's literally what they do. And how about the reach? These Shorebirds games will have a capacity to reach more than 500,000 viewers across Delmarva on all major and local cable partners. So whether you're looking to follow because you love to see the stars of tomorrow playing today, or you just can't get enough of America's favorite pastime, this new partnership is destined to be a home run. Still to come, taking his tech to Texas. Elon Musk moving his whole SpaceX operation, the reason he claims that he's doing it, and it might surprise you. And next, solid gold, the famous metal alloy, reaching record prices, the cost per ounce that might make you reevaluate your jewelry collection.
This is the GMC Sierra, powered by the TurboMax engine, with the confidence of 430 pound-feet of best-in-class standard torque. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. Get 1.9% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models, or get $4,000 purchase cash on this Sierra. We are professional grade GMC.
Here at the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division, such as myself in countertops, to not only ensure you get the best product to fit your needs, but that your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your project.
When I came into the Delmarva Design Center and see that big
collection of slabs that makes really the decision seamless.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Don't miss out on the amazing financing deals during the Make This the Summer event right here at Preston Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Don't miss out on 0% financing for 84 months on a brand new 2024 Dodge Hornet plug-in hybrid. Or how about 2.9% financing for 84 months on the 2024 Wrangler 4xe and Grand Cherokee 4xe. See our entire inventory and purchase online at millsborocdjr.com. Make this the summer to upgrade your ride at Preston Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Cars cost less with Preston.
Feeling the summer sizzle? Is it turning your home into a sauna? At FH Fur, we know you can't wait when your AC is down for the count. That's why we're offering same-day service, guaranteed. If we don't make it to you the very same day, you will pay a diagnostic or dispatch fee, plain and simple. So whether your AC is blowing hot air, your thermostat is on the fritz, or your entire system needs replacing, an FH Fur expert technician will bring your comfort back today.
877-CALL-FUR, FHFur.com.
Take your favorite radio station with you wherever you go. Download free today.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Shocking regional news tonight. Eastern Shore Rural Health Services has fired a nurse, and listen to the details on why. The FBI informed the company's CEO that a nurse, Lucas Fussell, has been arrested for the distribution of child pornography. This after a months-long investigation. As for Eastern Shore Rural Health Services, their CEO, Jeanette Edwards, said in a statement, quote, "These criminal charges were a shock to all of us at Eastern Shore Rural Health. All of our staff are required to adhere to the highest standards of ethical and professional conduct, and we condemn any contrary behavior," unquote. If you've been hoarding gold, we've got good news for you tonight. The price of gold has hit an all-time high. Gold jumped to a record at more than $2,400 an ounce on Tuesday. The news comes with the hopes that the Federal Reserve will soon cut rates and boost demand. A weakened dollar has also supported the demand for bulk gold and silver. On Tuesday, the U.S. dollar rebounded after falling to a 5-week low, according to UBS Central Bank, who is buying bulk gold and silver at the highest it has since the 1960s. In business news, Elon Musk packing up his spaceships and moving to Texas. Musk said he made the decision after California Governor Gavin Newsom signed legislation that prevents school employees from notifying parents if students request to use different pronouns. Musk said the new transgender law was, quote, "the final straw." Musk says that the law and others enacted before it attacks in both worlds of family and company. He also announced plans to move the headquarters of his social media company X, usually known as Twitter, from San Francisco to Austin, Texas, for the same reason. Coming up in sports, Delaware high school basketball teams putting in work on the court. Sussex Academy battling top teams in the Frankfurt Summer League. And also an Olympian with Ocean City ties, the kit-flipping teenager that's set to take on the World Games at the Olympics.
Well, it's not the Olympics for tomorrow, but you could go ahead and get ready to line up your golf game. But we're all watching out for a chance of scattered showers, particularly in the morning time. But we'll just call it fair nonetheless. Better to probably wait until Saturday, to be honest.
We salute Charlie Mood Jr. Charlie is the epitome of a hometown hero. For the past 18 years, he has served with distinction in the Delaware National Guard, deploying to both Iraq and Afghanistan. Back home, he has been an integral part of stateside missions. In addition to his military service, Charlie is an active firefighter, dedicating countless hours to protecting and serving his community.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Watch for the IG Burton First Alert Weather Jeep.
On Coast Life, watch as first-timers lace up for their first boxing lesson. Then, we spill the tea on a sister's wedding dilemma, and our happy place of the week showcases dreamy coastal homes. Coast Life, tomorrow at 4 on Coast TV.
This is the GMC Sierra, powered by the TurboMax engine, with the confidence of 430 pound-feet of best-in-class standard torque. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 1.9% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. Or get $4,000 purchase cash on this Sierra. We are professional grade GMC.
Welcome to Farmhouse Pet Lodge, your pet's home away from home. Our state-of-the-art secure lodge offers exceptional care for dogs, cats, and other pets. For daycare or boarding with private suites, custom food prep, UV air filtration, centralized disinfection, and 24/7 care. Your pet will be safe, healthy, and happy. Book now and get 10% off your first stay. Ask about our grooming services and tailored training programs. Give your furry friends an amenity-filled vacation at our family-owned, conveniently located Farmhouse Pet Lodge.
Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged, so you can go farther. And so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus, stay connected with available OnStar technology. For summer adventures, Chevy's got you.
Well-qualified buyers get 1.9% APR when you finance with GM Financial. Or current Chevy owners can get $6,500 total value on this Silverado. That's 12% below MSRP.
Weather shapes our lives. At Coast TV, First Alert Weather means we are always at work, ensuring you have the information you need. Weather coverage that prioritizes you. Coast TV First Alert Weather. Your safety, our commitment.
It's whaler season at Taylor Marine Center. Enjoy summer savings on the unsinkable legend, Boston Whaler. Taylor Marine Center has unprecedented inventory, factory incentives, and year-end savings on Montauk's Vantages, the newly designed Dauntless, and the offshore classic Outrage. Taylor Marine Center, with 2 award-winning locations to serve you in Milford, Delaware, and Ocean City, Maryland. Visit Taylor Marine today, your whaler season dealer.
In Olympic news, French officials said today that some 45,000 police will secure the Paris Olympics. July 26th, that's the opening ceremony, with over 100 heads of state and government set to attend. Adding, no changes have been planned after the weekend attack on former President Trump. 80 boats ferrying international athletes on a 3.7-mile route along the Seine River towards the Eiffel Tower. Athletes and performers will sail past some of the French capital's most stunning landmarks. But with more than 300,000 spectators expected to watch, it is also a major security headache, especially at a time of war in Gaza and Ukraine. Officials said more than 100 people will be working around the clock at the Games security headquarters in Saint-Denis, just outside Paris. Conflict abroad and security concerns at home led the French government earlier this year to raise its security level to its highest level. And we're not done with our Olympic coverage yet, because a skateboarder from California who is heading to the Games grew up in Ocean City. Her name, Ruby Lilly. In fact, Lilly learned to skate at the Ocean Bowl skate park. The 17-year-old has some interesting hobbies. She used to ballroom dance. She's tried her leotard at ballet, but it's on the board where she found international acclaim. She placed first at the Exposure Vert Pro Open, second place at the 2022 USA Skateboarding National Championships, and most recently second place at the X Games in Japan just this past weekend. You can watch Lilly right here on Coast TV once the games begin. Opening ceremonies are next Friday.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
High school basketball teams are getting reps in this summer and preparing for the upcoming season. Tonight, Fusion, a combined squad from Delaware, facing the Seahawks from Sussex Academy on the court in Frankford Summer League. Jumping in early first, Seahawks with a nice set, moving the ball around until they find Rico Knock in the corner, and he's going to knock down the open three to get scoring started. Midpoint of the quarter now, Max Stevenson with possession for Fusion. He garners the attention on this drive, leaving Dane Harrigan Farrow alone, and that is a bad idea. That triple puts the Seahawks up 1 to the second. Fusion leading 20-15, but it's time for Hayden Lay to go to work. Driving to the paint, stops the turnaround fadeaway, and he makes it look too easy. That cuts the Fusion lead down to 3. Let's move to the fourth, where these squads really starting to catch fire. First, a minute, it's Knock showing off that range once again. Another triple for him, but Fusion still leading 32-29. 30 seconds later, it's Asher Woods dealing with some tough defense, but he works his way in, puts up the floater, and sinks it. That and one bucket puts those 3 points right back on the board. Lead still at 6 with 6 to go. Now here comes Shane Ward going coast to coast. The dribble step move that's oh so smooth. That transition bucket makes it an 8-point game. Under a minute to go. Fusion trying to put this one away, and just watch this ball movement. Drive inside, kicks it back out over to Harrigan. Farrow 4-3, and it's nylon. Harrigan Farrow puts this one to sleep as the Fusion take it by a final score of 49-43. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
This is the GMC Sierra, powered by the TurboMax engine, with the confidence of 430 pound-feet of best-in-class standard torque. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. Get 1.9% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models. Or get $4,000 purchase cash on this Sierra. We are professional grade GMC.
Faster internet is better. That's why Extreme is increasing speeds and lowering prices, giving you more go, more whoa, more vroom, and boom for less. Get Internet 250 with whole home Wi-Fi 360 Pro for just $19.99 a month for a year. Plus, add the Xumo Stream Box for even more value. New faster speeds, new lower prices. Call 844-EXTREME2.
Do you have the right work truck? Do you have a Duramax engine with an Allison automatic transmission? First State Chevrolet is your commercial truck headquarters on Route 113 in Georgetown.
Save $10,000 on this new 2023 Silverado 6500.
Save $12,000 on this 2024 low cab forward dump truck.
Save $9,000 on this new 2024 low cab forward box truck.
Plus, we can service all your medium-duty work trucks in our state-of-the-art service department.
We're First State Chevy in Georgetown, where we put you, the customer, first. Together, let's drive.
Hi, I'm Sussex County farmer Blaine Hitchens, and I plant cover crops to improve my soil health. Cover crops help with nutrient cycling, weed suppression, and also reducing our input costs. I'm also improving water quality, and my soils are more productive, increasing my yield and bottom line. Healthy soils produce healthy crops. Cost share signups are going on now. To take advantage of the financial assistance, stop by the Conservation District to enroll in the cover crop cost share program, because every acre counts.
Mr. Meyer was an awesome teacher.
I taught middle school math in Wilmington.
He goes out of his way. You could just see he really cared.
My students face the most serious challenges in our community. They needed so much more than algebra.
When he became county executive, he worked to improve all of our schools.
We got teachers funding to innovate in their classrooms, started 1,000 Kids Coding to help low-income students get high-income skills.
Matt Meyer is someone who, when he says he's going to do something, he does the work. Democrat Matt Meyer for governor.
Our Milford Bay Health camera reflecting 76 degrees. A glorious reflection of the rain-cooled atmosphere. Kind of like when you throw water on a hot pan, it just steams up and then cools off. That's what's happening with the ground right now for us in the atmosphere. But when we had some severe thunderstorms, and we even had some marine warning, they've been allowed to expire. And what few storms we've had, they were pretty intense initially right here, but then they moved quickly out of the picture, which was helpful. They've moved and shifted all the way over towards Atlantic City and out of the way. We do have small craft advisories in effect with gusty winds at about 25 miles per hour. So be mindful of that if you plan on doing any boating for tomorrow. That goes all the way down towards Chincoteague, around to the most southern portions of the Chesapeake Bay area. And we have a cold front still to approach us, so we have more in the way of showers for Thursday. Our umbrella giveaway winner, by the way, is Mary Beth Tracy of Ocean City. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. Our UV index is actually going to bounce around a little bit. We'll be at a 10 for Thursday, down to 8 on Friday, dip on Saturday, go back to an 8 on Sunday. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Baird, Mandalas, Buckstead, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling exclusive 10-day forecast.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next, and we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.